Where China and Russia are still fighting out their avenues to deploy 5th-generation fighters, it is finally revealed that Japan is coming up with the most powerful new 6th-generation fighters. Every country is trying its best to deploy weapons, aircraft and fighters that no country can even think of. Then what is it that Japan pursued that no other country could crack? And on the other hand, what has led Japan to directly come up with the 6th-generation fighter without introducing the 5th-generation fighter first? Let's find that out in this video. To be very honest, to come up with the 6th-generation fighters can currently mean possessing the most cutting-edge military equipment currently in the world, as it is exceedingly challenging to construct something like this at this stage, but Japan has always been a technologically advanced nation, and that's why expecting the creation of a drastically new generation fighter from this country is no big deal. However, this initiative by Japan is being technically assisted by its allied countries of the United States and the United Kingdom. After the Japanese were successful in their tests, Great Britain offered to work with them. Additionally, Rolls-Royce worked with the British Ministry of Defence to build the XF9 and allocated £230 million right away to build a test unit. Now the 6th-generation fighter is being actively deployed by the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. The Mitsubishi FX is the name of this futuristic fighter. Given that it's bigger than the F-22, the FX has already earned the moniker Godzilla. Japan initially tried to build its own 5th-generation fighter. It even came up with the X-2 Shinchin prototype, which successfully took off in 2016, but Japan's military couldn't really afford it, and that's why they decided to purchase the $219 million American F-35. But owing to this step, the parent company of the X-2 Shinchin developer, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, sparked a controversy because it was providing the fighter for a more affordable cost, with the fighter being accommodated with the same technical qualities as it bought from America. The F-2 fighter bomber, created through a collaboration between American Lockheed Martin and Japanese company Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, is currently the primary combat aircraft of the Japanese armed forces. For contemporary X-brand radars, 5th-generation fighters like the F-35 and F-22 are stealthy. However, the 6th-generation platform will place a little higher priority on stealth. On the majority of the radar spectrum, the impact needs to be less noticeable. The aircraft should be equipped with both protective stealth and a number of modern cutting-edge weapons. So, talking about the current 6th-generation fighter in details, the FX Next Generation Fighter program was launched in Japan in 2010. Mitsubishi's X-2 Shinchin is a technological demonstration vehicle. Currently, this is the 4th Japanese FX program in the nation's history. The size of the aircraft, with its electronic warfare system, relates to its extensive payload and great flight range. At a distance of up to 200 kilometers, the Japanese aircraft will be able to burn the electronic brains of enemy weaponry. Moreover, the fighters builds a 180 kilowatt power unit, which means that no plane or missile with electronics can come close to this newly built fighter. Modern information technologies are being used by the fighter, although they are not yet widely deployed due to the lack of anonymity. The unnamed technology is probably connected to artificial intelligence and the lightning-fast processing and transport of data. The deployment of integrated fire control for fighters and high-speed data transmission system could enable the US and perhaps Japanese planes to coordinate their sensors, improving the accuracy of missiles. HFX would be able to command a flock of up to 3 drones that could be fitted with either monitoring gear or missiles outside the line of sight. These drones will dramatically lessen the number of manned aircraft attacked by the enemy while enhancing the FX's capabilities. The Japanese are further intending to use 2 modified XF91 engines for the afterburner of their aircraft. The remaining engines will have a thrust vector shift capability of 20 degrees and 16.5 thousandths kgf each, making them each extremely flexible. Moreover, 3 anti-ship missiles will be placed inside the fuselage and 6 ACM will be mounted on the FX. The ASM-3 can strike targets up to 400 kilometers away and reaches a peak speed of over Mach 3. The tailless aerodynamic design is being used to produce the 6th generation of British fighters. 2 side-deflected kills will be attached to the aircraft. The fighter's ability to operate stealthily is enhanced by the setup. 2 engines will be installed, as anticipated. The FX may receive 360 kilowatts from both engines because of this enormous 180 kilowatt electrical output of this engine. Heat shield technology, which uses carbon fiber reinforced polymer and aluminum alloys, protects the engine. For their power plant, the Japanese are using the XF9 engine. Bench testing has already been done on the prototype. Japanese engineers were able to boost the unit's traction while also enabling it to vary thrust. In addition to their novel material, the Japanese revolutionized the way individual turbine components were produced by using 3D printing technologies. It appears that no one had ever employed 3D printing technology on such important load-bearing elements. Therefore, this was a risky design decision, but it turned out to be profitable now. The reliability of 3D printing technology is increased by the accuracy in which it was executed. Future production cost reduction for the XF9 are also guaranteed by 3D printing technology. Naturally, a fighter powered by an XF9 engine falls into a category of extremely fast and nimble fighter. A 6th generation fighter can thus be said to have the best speed and superb maneuverability. It is quite intriguing how Japan, in order to maintain the invisibility of their fighter, has employed materials used in modern stealth aircraft to effectively absorb radio waves, making them almost invisible to radar. It's true that they only exist in the decimeter, centimeter and millimeter ranges, but they are nonetheless easily identifiable. The Japanese will construct their fighter plane from a substance that transmits radio waves and will have a meter range. In addition to being invisible, it will produce interference, preventing the enemy from fully utilizing the radar equipment. Additionally, it will reflect radio signals using stealth plasma antenna technology. The antenna functions by producing a transient plasma that can have its physical characteristics changed by electrical programming. The antenna has the ability to send and receive messages when it's turned on. This will render the aircraft invisible to radio waves in the meter range, and the engine cooling system now being developed will also render it invisible to infrared waves. By the way, the Japanese chose to glue the parts together rather than rivet them. This is probably going to make the building more rigid while also making it lighter. Also, the FX will typically be bigger than the F-22, indicating that the aircraft's range has increased. Naturally, this will simplify the logistics of using it in combat. It is likely that a prospective 6th generation fighter will get a laser and be resistant to Russian hypersonic weapons. It can be said that no nation in the world now possesses a competent defense system against hypersonic missiles. Japan's fighting system will take out the onboard electronics of adversary. This fighter might become unmanageable just after one impact. The aircraft will be compatible with the combat system for the late 16s. Future conflicts are expected to benefit greatly from tactical networks like Link 16. But for that, you need to know how such an ecosystem will behave in a case of a conflict. One member of the network performs target detection and capture, after which any other member may launch an attack. Artificial intelligence assisted in the decision of which team member would actually carry out the attack by studying the battle in real time and identifying the target's kind as well as the various methods that could be used to destroy it. For this, artificial intelligence will take into account a variety of factors, including each network's member ammunitions, the distance between units and targets, and even the capability of dodging retaliatory fire. Now you might be wondering when this masterpiece is going to be launched. So to answer your curiosity, it is planned to construct the FX prototype in 2024. In 2028, there will be the first flight, and 2035 is the projected start date for operation. Japan is really hoping this fighter to be successful. It will take another 6 years until this incredible aircraft makes its first flight. The fact that Japan is already planning something huge is evident from the appearance of this fighter, and it makes sense given the history of wars with nations like China and Russia, whom are known to be autocratic states with substantial military budgets. So right now for Japan, developing as many modern weapons as possible seems to be the only viable option for defense. Anyway, it is yet to be seen if this 6th generation fighter of Japan will be able to stand against the weapons already possessed by Russia and China. Let us know in the comment section your thoughts about it. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also hit the bell icon so you don't miss any video, because we have a lot of more interesting things to come.